Hi, Scott here in the Lifestyle Kitchen. Today I'm doing a rice pilaf. Now rice pilaf is not like rice risotto, they are two separate dishes. The main difference is rice pilaf is using long grain rice and a risotto uses a short grain or laborio rice. So with a rice pilaf we actually start it off on the stove and then we actually finish it off in the oven. So what we're using today is just some standard long grain rice. We've got some wonderful fresh carrots and garlic from the farmer's market, parsley from the market, and we're using a wonderful salami and also a pepperoni sausage that we can get at the local farmer's market. So I've got my fry pan on the heat first, getting that nice and hot, and to that I'm adding some butter and some oil. And we want to get those nice and sizzling. So you're looking around about a teaspoon of oil and about a tablespoon of butter. Of course the butter's going to add the flavour, the oil will stop the butter burning. Right, to that we're going to add the carrot, the garlic and the onion, which I've got pre-diced. So on a nice high heat. Now for this, make sure you're doing it in a fry pan that you can actually transfer to the oven. So if it's got a plastic handle, wooden handle, then you can't make a pilaf. So you need a handle that is metal as well that can go into the oven. To that I'm stirring in now the red pepper, which I've diced. So that's about a quarter of a red pepper. And we're also going to add a cup now of the long grain rice. So we basically want to fry those ingredients off together. We don't want to get the rice too coloured, so we don't want little black pieces or even brown pieces of rice in our finished product. We're just getting them coated in the oil and the butter and just lightly cooking them off. I'm going to add a wee bit of seasoning to that. Some freshly ground pepper and a good pinch of salt. So once those are fried off and they've been coated in the oil, what we do now is we then add chicken stock. So we want to cover the rice in chicken stock. Give it a stir. And what's going to happen is this is going to go into the oven and the rice is going to absorb all that chicken stock and cook. The vegetables are going to cook as well. But to put that into the oven we have to make what is known as a cartouche. Now this is a cartouche here, so what it is a square of greaseproof paper, and then you fold it into a triangle, and then using one straight edge, we keep folding to that straight edge. So we just keep folding it until we get to this stage, then we take it over to our pan, we imagine a centre point in the pan, and we get a pair of scissors and we cut the end off. We want to open it out. And we want to use some butter and we want to just lightly grease our cartouche on one side. And this is going to act as our lid in the oven while the rice cooks. So it's going to stop the rice from drying out on top. This will protect it. So then we take our cartouche, put it on top of our fry pan, press it down and on top of the stock and the rice, and then we're going to transfer that to the oven. Now with your pilaf you need to keep checking on it because you don't want it to dry out. So you want to check that the rice is cooked, so we want that rice just cooked, not overcooked, not soggy, not really squishy and not hard. So we just want it nicely cooked rice. And then also we basically want to add some stock if the rice isn't cooked so it actually doesn't dry out. So we remove the cartouche Remember, it's just come out of the oven, so the handle is going to be very hot. So you can see that the rice has soaked up all that stock, nicely coloured. So what we can now do is stir through our finishing ingredients. So I've got some diced up pepperoni sausage that's going in there. So you could put in whatever you wanted into this, but this wonderful gourmet pepperoni sausage is available at the farmer's market, made by a German immigrant here in Invercargill. And we're also going to add some of his salami as well, which I'm just going to cut into some strips. Generous chop of some fresh parsley. Don't forget that handle still hot. Now you could put through whatever you like, and you could also put those sausages and salami in partway through the cooking. I just like to stir them through just to warm them through so they're still holding their shape and not breaking down. We can then get our presentation plate or bowl. So the pilaf could be a meal in itself. You might serve it as an accompaniment to another dish. So there you have it, our wonderful sausage and salami rice pilaf. I'm Scott in the Lifestyle Kitchen, and I'll see you next time. Hi, Scott here again in the Q Kitchen. Today we're doing a baseless quiche. These are really ideal because everything's done in a bowl. You don't have to worry about rolling out pastry or making pastry. It's basically, as I said, all set to go in a bowl and then baked off. So, first of all, we need a reasonably good sized bowl. Into that goes 3/4 of a cup of self-raising flour. Then we need basically our ingredients. This is up to you what you use. Today I'm using bacon, red peppers and onions. We always need a cup of cheese. So I'll put my cheese in now. But as I said, if you like tuna, for example, or salmon, put a tin of tuna in or a tin of salmon. If you like corn, you could use corn. So any vegetables, courgettes, your choice, as long as you follow the recipe and have the same quantities of ingredients. So in goes a cup of diced peppers, cup of diced bacon, and 1 diced onion. So we want to mix all those ingredients together and get them coated in the flour. Then we move on to our wet ingredients. We need 3/4 of a cup of milk. We need the melted butter. And then we need 3 eggs, 3 whole eggs. And either using a fork or a whisk, you want to break those eggs up and get them mixed together. And then on goes the wet ingredients onto the dry. So this is great for lunch with a salad, or even take it in your lunch to uni or to school or wherever you might be working at the time. So it's nice cold as well. So then we need a quiche tin or some sort of baking plate or pie tin to cook our quiche in. Grease the tin and then pour in the mixture. Smooth that out. I'm going to finish this today just with some chopped parsley on top and a few grinds of black pepper. And that will take around about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven, at 180 degrees, and then it will be cooked. So once it comes out of the oven, you can then proceed to cut it into some wedges. So we get a nice flavour all the way through. As you can see, it creates its own base, and depending on what you're going to use and the ingredients, will flavour it accordingly. So there's our, in this case, red pepper and bacon baseless quiche. Enjoy that one, and I'll see you next time in the kitchen.